welcome back to another video, my friends. It's Salanda, and today I'm gonna be talking about something that frankly is not gonna be related to tech videos at all. So this is more really gonna be a bit of a story video, if you know what I mean. So the title is not wrong. I did almost get lost in the woods for 3 hours. Well, I actually did. It was a pretty scary situation, let's put it that way. I'm gonna be explaining myself really quickly though. I don't know if you guys really knew this before. Besides vintage cameras or just technology, I also like urban exploration, and you'll probably even see like a couple videos of that in the future of this channel. I really like exploring old abandoned buildings and all that type of stuff. When I was like really little though, I remember going to this old pump house that is actually nearby. Yeah, the footage you're seeing of it shot on the exact same day that I got lost. I ended up successfully finding the house, but guess what? It's in extremely thick woods, right? And I used to go with my father all the time to that house as well, but it's been years and years and years since I've ever even went back there. I'm also actually really convinced the house is actually haunted as well. I always just feel like somebody's watching me on the property, so I'm pretty sure there is a ghost there. Anyway, I end up just walking up to the house and exploring it and all that type of stuff, and I thought it was actually really cool because first of all, I haven't been there in like a really long time. I think it's been like 7 years or something like that, but I thought it was really cool. But the thing is though, is that when I was going to the actual spot, I got like a really bad vibe. I explored like more scary things before, you know, like abandoned ships and all that type of stuff, but there's something a bit off with this place, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like something bad was gonna happen, like I was gonna lose my phone or something like that, break a leg. So I was already extremely paranoid just going to the place. I end up going to the place and it's just this big huge lot of woods, obviously, right? And I knew it was pretty thick woods, but I don't remember the woods being this thick. It was really thick, obviously. And what ends up happening is that I just end up going to the place. I was riding my bike. I bike into the woods and go down this old abandoned trail, obviously, that hasn't been used in years and years. And I didn't think anything of it, though. So what ends up happening is that I get to the part where the trail just simply abruptly ends, which, by the way, I don't even remember that even happening. Like, the last time that I ever went to the place was absolutely grown over. Like, it was fucking crazy. And this time it was even worse. So I was like, oh I'm gonna get my ass lost. But I didn't care anyway at the time. I was like thinking, you know what, I have my phone, you know, it has the maps thing on. I have an iPhone and has Apple Maps and all that type of stuff, and you can track, you know, where you are with it. I was like thinking, you know what, that'll be fine, you know, but it wasn't, and I'll explain that later. So I'm just walking through miles and miles of fucking woods, dude, and it ends up taking me about an hour, and I am struggling to get to this house, and I was so determined to get to the house that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get to this thing. I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna be a Sigma. I'm gonna be the alpha male here, and I'm gonna get to this thing. And so an hour later, you know, I'm just going around in circles, dude, and I finally stumble upon it, and I was excited. So I was like, oh, here we go, and so I start exploring it, and I end up taking about an hour to explore the place. You know, it's pretty cool, and yeah, that's literally what ends up happening. I explore pretty successfully. I look through it, but unfortunately I did not take that much footage because guess what? Another issue happened that I did not even think about. My phone was having severe battery issues. Yeah, that's right, the thing was only at 14%. I was like, oh this is not good. I was like thinking like, oh this is not good at all, and I was even recording video, so it even went down even more, and that phone almost got me killed. So I was like, oh well, I better leave, and so I end up backtracking, you know, and where I think the trail was, and I was like 100% sure that the trail, you know, was at this direction, but guess what, it was in the completely opposite direction. I was going pretty straightforward, and the trail was on the side. I was like, oh my god, and then I ended up checking my maps really quickly, and I was like, oh fuck. And so that's when panic started kicking in, and yeah, it was pretty scary. So what ends up happening is that I end up using my phone to like backtrack and all that type of stuff, and I was using my maps, you know, just like look for the trail. I was using the little dot to like find my way to the trail. It was really scary, dude. It was really scary. What ends up happening is that I go to where I think the trail is supposed to be on the maps, and guess what? It's just nothing. So I was like, oh god, I was like really panicking. I was like freaking out, and so I was like, you know what, I was like, I'm gonna lose my bike, but I don't care. But no, like what ends up happening is so that I end up going to the road I took to get here, and so that's what I do. So I just end up just walking through so much woods. Brush was literally everywhere, bro. It was so bad, but I don't care. I just wanted to get out, and I finally hit the road after 2 hours. But now I was like thinking, you know what, I'm gonna try to find my bike, but I end up trying to find my bike, and that also takes me another 20 minutes. So I was gone for a pretty long time. Yeah, it wasn't really that fun. It was one of the most terrifying experiences I think I've ever experienced in my life. I definitely do plan to actually go back to the place, obviously, because it is pretty cool, I guess, and I want to film it a little bit better, but I'm obviously going to be bringing, you know, a lot more. I'm going to be having a fully charged phone, and I'm going to prepare for this instead of, like, you know, just winging it like I did. Absolutely regretting it. Yeah, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video and found it somewhat interesting. Leave a like if you liked it, and have a good day, everybody. See ya.